regular medicine stuff. They get it from local stores or online.
Let's do an example here. You're a young person. You don't understand how all this works. So let me explain this to you. When you get hurt in your older age, let's say you're 34, you work on a roof, you fall off and you crush your fucking heel, right? It's all shattered. The doctor 10, 15 years ago was like, that's fucked up, that really hurts. You're gonna need some opioids to kill that pain. And then the DEA says, no, you can't have those anymore. These doctors have to tighten up their prescriptions. And now you don't have any, you can't afford them. What do? You can take kratom. It has the same effects, it's less addictive, and it's more gross. So that even brings down the use. You're not gonna use it as much. Kratom kills the pain in your body. It also cures social anxiety.
The government's solution to stuff like this is always prohibition, which means putting more people in jail.
How big is your appetite for the war on drugs? I'm sure it's small. It's shrinking every single day. Don't let them continue it. Don't let them outlaw more stuff.
Good point.
Thank you.
Can you imagine being that sensitive? Like you.
Well, that's
like
what
that
they're
is the
PC as hell.
ultimate.
Hey, you know what? This is the freest goddamn country, and it's so free that if you don't stand up, you aren't a free person. And goddamn it, boy, if you don't stand up right now, you ain't free. Because you have the freedom to do whatever you want. But I'm telling you, I have the freedom to make you feel bad for doing the freedom. Just get up and say you love it. Just get up right now, Copernic. God damn it. It's so free that you can't do it. You have to. It's free because there's only one way to be. That's why it's free. So be that. Damn you.
They don't have anything to live. I mean, their kids hate them. They don't have, all their money got stolen by banksters and shit. Healthcare's running through the fucking roof.
You know, you probably hear people constantly talking about this horrible thing called capitalism.
I have.
Yeah, you've heard that?
Yes.
You're like, what? How does capitalism affect me? I will tell you, it runs your entire fucking life. You've probably heard of socialism or communism. Communism. And they say, they try to control your entire life. Your whole day is taken away from you. What control do you have over your day now?
Most people have to be chained to a desk for 40 hours a week, and they're not allowed to leave.
When you wake up in the morning and you feel like shit and you have to wipe the sleep from your eyes and like look around and be like, why does this have to happen this early in the morning? That's a capitalism.
And it controls everything, like your healthcare, your education. It all comes down to making money, but some things just don't make money. Honestly, ask yourself, how afraid are you of getting an injury and how that could possibly fuck up your life?
Yeah, you're being stopped from skateboarding, breakdancing, doing anything fun, because if you get injured, you're fucked forever. You can't go to work.
And so then you have all these people that say, well, we can make a kinder capitalism, a more conscious capitalism. It isn't gonna fucking happen. We need anarchy, we need socialism, we need communism, we need anything but more capitalism.
But wait, Brett, when you go to the grocery store, you have almost unlimited choice. You can buy 100 different types of cereals.
All made from the same stuff with different graphics on the outside.
All corn. It's basically just a bunch of boxes of corn.
That's capitalism.
It actually treats about 1% of the population like humans, and the rest of us like tools for those superhumans. You don't have any money, your bank account's low? I know where the money is. Jeff Bezos has it, the Waltons have it.
And they took it from us, right?
They took it from us.
We're just getting our money back.
Yeah, your work made that money. You deserve that money. That's your money. The 1% has never decided to do the right thing. That's why we have to take power and just spread it out among the 100% of people that exist.
Before we commence expelling this ghost from this location, before we save Jake from the lock, I will light the ceremonial herb that will give us the sight, that will give us the power we need to set Jake free. Twitter's not working out here. Let's see if you can get a ghost. Go ahead and try. See.
I summon the ghost into ghostly ghostness. Come the fuck out if you're a real ghost. Now. Demand it. This is how we fucking hunt ghosts. And as we've pointed out, and as we've said, there are no ghosts.
So this is where the ghosts live, from what we know. And he's not home. Let me see, let me try this. Jake, you may overtake my body. I accept you into my heart and soul. Please, if you are here, take control of me. Use me as a vessel.
Gross.
Nothing.
Yeah, no ghosts. So I guess the lesson of Beaver Creek is there's no such thing as ghosts. There's no God.
Hey Street Fighters, welcome to the show, the live stream. We're on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube right now. Jump in, there's a chat. You can talk to all the wonderful Street Fight listeners as they watch the show, comment along as we do it. We do it every single week, Wednesday nights and Sunday nights. Now on Sunday from 9 to midnight, we take calls from the listeners. We want to hear what's going on at work, how you've been affected, what shitty things your employers are doing. Tonight, it's going to be Brian and I talking shit about stories of the week, chopping it up, doing our normal thing. How we started this whole endeavor almost 10 years ago now. The Street Fight Basement Show has blossomed into a gigantic community of wonderful people ready to do mutual aid and camaraderie with each other. So we appreciate you being here as always. Hope you're willing to spread this mess across the U.S. and beyond to every corner of the flat earth. My name is Brett Payne. My co-host is Brian Quinby. We're Street Fight Radio, the #1 anarcho-comedy radio show on any station across the nation. And we're here to entertain y'all, to make you feel good, to connect you, to inspire you, to stand up for yourself, to organize your workplace, and stop taking shit and start going after the capitalist pigs that have their boots on their necks. So we're glad you're here as always, and we'll continue to do this as long as we can. This is our life's work, and we're glad that you're along for the ride. Thanks for being here. How are things going, Brian?
I think it's going better since Sunday when I was really flipped out. I got a doctor's appointment and talked to my doctor, and that made me feel a little bit better about my possibilities of living through this thing.
You consulted your doctor on your possibilities.
Well, I talked to her, and she was just like, I know your health. I manage that for you. And
Sure.
I think even if you got it, you would survive.
Sure.
And then she did some math with me, which was like real anxiety guy math. It was like super anxiety guy math, because it was like, when's the last time you were in a crowd? And I was like, March 11th. I went to do wrestling. And she was like, oh, well, it would have already happened.
Yeah.
If you got it then. So if you started being safe the day after, which was when I started to be concerned and be safe, then you're going to be okay, Brian.
Yeah, that's great.
Don't fucking flip your wig. And then she gave me some mild stuff for anxiety, which really helps. And I also got my hands on some other mild stuff on some other less mild stuff for anxiety. But I think personally, I'm in a better spot than I was Sunday. I am not freaking out anymore. I think I think for a lot of people, we're going to make it through this thing. I feel like a sort of confidence that I didn't feel before.
Okay.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
I've shit talked to my doctor on the air a bunch, and she really took time. It wasn't a 10-minute call. You know what I mean? She called me on the phone. We talked for about a half hour. And then she did something that was incredible, which was, she said, when do you start therapy? And I was like, I'm on a waiting list. I don't know when it's going to start. And then today I got the call from the place that she referred me to. And they set me up for an appointment tomorrow.
Wow.
At 2.
Okay.
And I was like, I think my doctor did that for me.
That sounds
I'm fairly certain that, my doctor called them and said, you need to get this guy in. So I kind of have renewed faith in my doctor. And
yeah, that's nice.
I really think that she handled me in a way that I think nobody else could have done that. No, there's not another person that could have handled me in that way. The two people that I depend on the most as friends and people to talk to are you and my wife, and both of you guys are sort of, Katie's never had anxiety or panic issues. It's not her fault. You know what I mean? And you don't know how to talk to people that are flipping out. You know what I mean? Unless
true.
It's on drugs. So I think that what I was doing was I was relying on people who didn't necessarily know how to deal with the thing that I deal with, and talking to somebody who, by the way, one of the things she said to me that I want to say this to the listeners too, because I think it's a very important thing that she said to me. She was like, you know, there are people now, a large amount of my patients who have never had a panic attack and never had general anxiety issues having panic attacks now.
Yeah.
And it made me really think about after this. Like it made me look on the other side of this thing. It made me look at like availability of mental health help, mental illness help and stuff, because this thing, you know, we're not thinking about it right now because we're like right in the middle of it. But when we think about 9/11, we think about it affected us pretty heavily, the most heavily for 3 years.
Yeah.
After it, you know, 2004, I could make the argument that we started to snap out of it because like the election, right? Like we was trying to get rid of Bush, and there was a lot of people who sort of snapped out of it at that point, and the war got very unpopular and stuff, and like it, but it did take 3 years, to get to that point, and we damaged almost irreparably the world in those 3 years. You know, we did so much shit in those 3 years that, like, you know, I think about it now and I'm like, what are we gonna do in the 3 or 4 years after this thing? Like, what is the government gonna do? You know, if you only listen to left podcasts, good. You know what I mean? Because you're not hearing a lot of the stuff, but a lot of the conservative people are saying some wild shit. Yeah, you know, and it's. I mean, I just think that, like, I'm almost done.
You're fine.
I just think that after this thing's over, we need to emphasize mental health for everybody, for every single person. That like it has to be available. Counseling has to be available for every person on the fucking planet, because there's going to be lasting effects mentally on, especially just things about like me. I was never like afraid of germs. You know what I'm saying? Like I fucking
you were gonna eat some hair.
I would have ate toenails or drank bath water and shit. But now I like think about that stuff a lot more. You know, and you know, I was never a hypochondriac in a way, really. Like I would freak out and think I was having a heart attack, or I would for a while think there was like a period of time where I thought I had AIDS. Okay, and like but now
breast cancer too, right?
Breast cancer one. Yes,
once,
that was after Family Guy. That was a whole Family Guy thing.
Really?
I saw on Family Guy an episode where Peter thought he had breast cancer, and then it fucking made me think, like, when I read somewhere that dudes could get breast cancer, and then I woke up and my titty hurt, and I went to the doctor, and he was like, yeah, you slept on it wrong. Here's some muscle relaxers. but like, I've never been a guy who, I've always found myself to be a guy that doesn't get sick. And I mean, it's pretty true, you know? The only time I've only not done this show once because of a sickness. And that was because my mouth was fucking swollen up and I couldn't talk. And like, I've only, I don't ever feel sick, you know? And like, I need to like lean on that like fact.
That most of the time.
At this time.
Yeah.
That I've been able to get through flu seasons. I've been able to get through all of these sicknesses. And I need to rely on that now that like, maybe I am at risk. Yeah. But I'm not in the at-risk age group. I'm not in any of the at-risk stuff. And also, the doom and gloom on Twitter and on Facebook, reading that had an effect on me last week. Like a real effect. Because, you know, you're reading these people. I don't think we should leave our house for 5 years. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like, I saw a 39-year-old die. Yeah. And stuff like that. And it took me talking to my doctor and her saying that thing about people without panic disorder having panic attacks. It took that for me to realize they're all panicking. They're not authorities any more than I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just random people on Twitter.
Sure.
You know, the doctors are the authorities. And I'm trying not to let that stuff build up in my brain now and make me freaked out. And it is too, you know, I can only say it happened yesterday. And I hope what I'm saying helps you in the way that it helped me to hear from my doctor. Now, if you're immunocompromised or you're in an at-risk group, you know, I don't know how to speak to that.
No, that's a different situation. But
Yeah.
you are one of the panicked people that, I mean, that's been part of my reaction has been, you know, it's not zombie apocalypse, and there is a lot of talk about it like the world is ending right now, but it's not ending. It's relatively calm to compared to the panic, which is necessary, but when we have individuals that are breaking down and overwhelming themselves that don't need to be, it's not helpful. You know, you're not helping even what needs to be done in this time. Like you're not helping us when you're compromising yourself over anxiety over those things, you know?
Right. That being said, I also worry about what this fucking president's going to do. I worry about what these governors are going to do. These businesses, this Jerry fucking Falwell guy.
That's a lot, yeah.
That kind of stuff.
That's ahead of us. That's more important. That kind of stuff is things you can work on, and that's the kind of stuff you can make tangible gains at to make your anxiety better. Worrying that you're going to catch it is not going to ever make you. You're never going to solve that problem. I feel like here's what it's going to be for me. I feel like it should just be an aha moment. You're probably going to feel really tired. You're going to be running a fever, and then you'll be like, "Ah, fuck! I think I have coronavirus." But I'm not until then. Until I start feeling like flu sick. I'm really not concerned that I have it. And I'm just being diligent about staying away from people and taking showers and all that stuff. No more dirty winter. But you do have a good point, and I think you're going to do great with therapy because
I start tomorrow.
my opinion on it is that it is like having a brain consultant and somebody that you can tell your thoughts to, that they can kind of break them apart. And like you said, you're not going to listen to me. You're not going to listen to Katie the same way I don't listen to you and the same way I don't listen to my wife. Now, you're going to talk to your therapist, and they're going to say stuff to you that me and Katie have told you for the last 5 years, and it's going to stick immediately. It's going to change your behavior. It's just going to, because it comes from an outside authoritative source, something that you can actually trust, you know? And I think it is an important part of all healthcare, really, to have a brain consultant for all of us. As far as your concerns with like post-corona, we already saw our generation leaning heavily into mental wellness and things like that. It's very much a wave that's happening. There's apps that are capitalizing on it, on all the podcasts and things like that. You know, we could try to give you a Talkspace fucking code right now if we wanted to. If we want to make $5 per sign up.
Yeah.
But I think that I don't know. I don't want to say I don't know how the problem will be solved, but there will be enough of a need that it's going to have to be addressed. And I think that we are at least growing up and maturing as a society and accepting that we need to handle our problems with like a professional sometimes, you know?
Yes, I agree. And I think like, I don't even want to make this sound like you and Katie are bad or anything. Like Katie,
I didn't think that.
Katie is a person who like has her own anxieties and stuff, and like maybe if I'm having a panic attack, she has a hard time like understanding what to say to not make it worse.
Yeah,
I guess. And with you, I just don't want to be a burden on you. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing with you, is that like, yeah, I could sit and talk to you about all my anxieties and stuff, but like that's just like, I was thinking about this a lot today. It's like, I can sit down and tell him what freaks me out and all my anxieties and stuff, but then what's that going to do for him? He's like, I'm working with a fucking psycho. Like, my life's tied up with a fucking crazy person.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff, but I am personally doing a lot better. And, fighting the government is what I've always been good at. And that, not really, but you know what I mean? It's the one thing I can do, you know. If they open everything back up on Easter, I I don't think people are going to immediately rush out and go to concerts and stuff like that.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But I do think, like, you know, the church is a real fucking problem, man. People are going to go to fucking church. You know? People are going to have to go to fucking work. And there's no reason.
Yeah, I do have to say, once again, I don't know what's coming ahead. I'm better at putting out fires when they're here. I think my confidence comes from that I believe we can solve any problem that's thrown at us, even as we move towards tumultuous times. I think that the right people will step up to the plate, out of a necessity. But, you know, talking about the unique circumstances of this virus in America, I really am just astonished to see the way that the conservative side has now taken it to be a point of pride to not back down to the virus. And to start having the conversation about how many people we let die from this so that we can keep the economy going.
Yep.
I mean, there was some asshole, I think it was Alabama. Was that the guy that said we're not China?
No.
Did you see that one?
No, I saw the Texas one who said that grandparents would rather die than have the economy tank on their kids. I saw that guy, and it's like, you know, when I talk about mental health too, if there's a lot of people, I don't, you know, talk to my parents. I don't depend on my parents for support, but there are so many people that depend on their parents for support.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want them fucking dying, dude.
Yeah.
We don't want a bunch of people to lose their parents and grandparents at the same fucking time.
Yeah.
And like that kind of grief, those kind of numbers. And these people are just acting like, I heard Bubba the Love Sponge say this today, and this is Bubba the Love Sponge. He's a fucking idiot, but I've been I subscribed to him so I could listen to him, so I'm listening to him, and he says he goes into commercial break. And when you subscribe on Twitch, you can hear his commercial breaks because he leaves it up. It's like Bubba Plus or some shit like that, right? And as he's walking out of the room, he's talking to the plastic surgeon that he has as one of his co-hosts on his show. He is like, they've been talking about how we need to open stuff back up and we can't be cutting checks to everybody and stuff like that. And then he said, yeah, you know, it's kind of like we're doing a controlled burn. And it's like, I wish those people, if we could just kill them and give them to coronavirus, that would be fucking great.
Yeah, we can't trade them in, unfortunately.
A controlled burn from a guy that is in the high risk category. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's bringing out like a very ugly, it's bringing out very dumb people that have opinions about, there's very dumb people that have opinions about population and population control, right? And it's bringing all of those people out that think we need less people on the planet.
I think,
and that killing, that at what this would do is this would kill off a lot of our more vulnerable people, and then we could strive as a society again.
Yeah.
And it's fucking gross. And it's also bullshit, man. There are fucking people with like diabetes and stuff that are fucking genius. Like, there are so many people that contribute so much to this world that have disabilities or that are in the high risk groups. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That like they contribute so much to like the fabric of the country or the world, the civilization. I don't like to say the country, but like that they contribute so much. You know what I mean? And like, just to say like, well, if they die, you know, at least all the people that like can play intramural football will still be alive. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck you, man. Fuck you.
Yeah.
If Trump, and like, it's also another odd day because Trump is a psycho and he is saying he's going to open everything on Easter no matter what. Now, who do we have to vote for in November that could stop this? A guy that was just credibly accused of rape today.
Yeah.
And we have to, like, that's what we're going. That's like our choices right now. Two guys that have been credibly accused of rape.
Right.
Is who we have to pick between. Two guys that know fuck all about anything. They know nothing, you know?
No, they have no place. All they are is confident jack-offs that will overpower anybody in the room and be fucking bullies. That is how those people succeed. They've not earned anything that they have. There's no brilliant ideas. Nothing that Joe Biden has done has been like a great fucking idea that transformed this country for the better. He's created more misery every fucking time he's signed his pen to a piece of paper.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna try to keep. I did a Brace and Brian, and we did about 20 minutes on coronavirus, and I'm trying to keep it like, I'm trying to do the street fight thing.
Sure.
And try to get people out of their minds. So we're going to do a few more minutes here, and then we'll switch to banging. I was going to say banging Mike Rowe. Okay. We'll switch to picking on Mike Rowe. How's that sound?
I'm interested.
That's the old street fight thing. So I got a letter today. I guess it's not really a letter. It could be a letter. I got a message from a person on Twitter. I'm gonna keep them. Obviously, you want to keep people as anonymous when they're sending you official work emails. But this is for Pizza Hut in Western Michigan, the franchisee of the Pizza Hut in, I believe, Western Michigan, which is the place where I go to buy weed now. And I'm gonna get this up. All right, here we go. So this is what they got. Dear RGM, RGM is they're the employees maybe? I'm not sure, but this is the email that they're getting, Brett. As they are working. People that work at Pizza Hut are working. They're essential employees, which is another that we'll have that conversation in a little bit too. You'll hear that on the Brace thing too. The essential employee conversation is one of the oddest things that has happened in a very long time. Like, we're finally having this conversation that me and Brett have been having on his show for almost 10 years, but it's finally happening, So here's the email, Brett, that got sent to employees. With all the talk about COVID-19, I have an employee that doesn't want to come to work. Their reason is, and this is a list of reasons that people have said.
Yeah, this is the flow chart on how you respond to the situations when you're the Pizza Hut manager and your employee calls in.
That's right. One, yeah, that's what it is. Dear Regional General Manager. That's what RGM is.
Yeah.
Right? One, I'm scared and don't want to be around people, so I'm staying home for a while. Which is a reasonable email to send. I think like, if I'm making Pizza Hut money, I think that's a perfectly fine email to send us. If I'm making fucking what Pizza Hut pays, then I'm not gonna risk my life for Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
I didn't want to risk my life for fucking cable. And I was making $17 an hour doing that.
Why would you're not going to go door to door, handle money from somebody possibly, or have them hold your pen, exchange all the fucking germs that you can as you drop the pizza off, and you're going to get paid $11 an hour.
Or the people even working in the office, none of us are getting tested.
Right.
So we don't even fucking know if the people around us have it, really. So, and okay, I'm a person that works at fucking Pizza Hut. I'm working with other employees who haven't been tested. I haven't been tested. I live with my grandmother or something like that. I'm going to go home, and I could go home and kill somebody.
Yeah.
Is the thing. So here's their answer. We are providing an essential service and have work available. This is a voluntary resignation, and they are not eligible for unemployment. Damn. When the current situation changes and they are willing to work, they are eligible for rehire. We do not have voluntary leave of absences. So that's one.
So if you don't want to come in, you resigned.
Yeah. And that means you don't get unemployment, because quitting means you don't get you have to get fired.
Yes.
They can't even do the decent thing of firing
you. Please help me out and just fire me, boss.
But I mean, that's what Marriott's doing.
Right.
Which is, it's shit that they're firing people, but it is cool that they're firing people and that they're going to get unemployment.
Get benefits at least, yeah.
Number two, I don't feel well. is a reason that somebody would call in.
Okay.
They should stay home until they feel better and symptoms have been gone for 24 hours.
Okay.
I guess that's not like the worst thing.
That's all it says is the thing to do.
Yeah. So
Okay.
here's number 3. I don't feel well and have a fever of 100.4 degrees or above, cough, or shortness of breath. Okay?
Yeah.
That's number 3 here. And here's their answer. They need a written medical release to return to work or have had no symptoms for 3 days, not covered up by medicines, and at least 7 days have passed since symptoms first appeared. Now, this
Not
they
covered
are not
up by
going to be getting
medicines?
paid. Yeah.
Also, how much do you think the copay is on a Pizza Hut cashier's health insurance plan?
I like that you say Pizza Hut cashier's health insurance plan.
Yeah, it's non-existent.
Yeah.
They don't have that.
Well, what they really depend on here is have had no symptoms for 3 days, not covered up by medicines, and at least 7 days have passed since symptoms first appear.
Yeah.
That's what they're really talking about, because they know we can't go get tested.
Right.
They fucking know it. Number 4.
They just want you to wait it out.
Number 4. I can't work because I have school-aged children and no access to childcare.
And I have had my non-essential friends that get paid a lot more than the essential employees have put their foot down and said, my kids are home all day, I'm working from home, and they've been like, all right, fine, we'll let you do it.
Okay, well, at Pizza Hut, you can't do that.
Oh, damn it.
That's an issue, right? This is also a voluntary resignation.
Damn.
But they are eligible for unemployment.
What's the difference?
When the current situation changes and they were able to work, they are eligible for rehire. Per federal guidelines, they may or may not be eligible for FMLA leave.
Oh, God. Okay.
I can't work because I have to take care of someone in my family with a documented case of COVID-19 is the next one.
Oof.
This is also a voluntary resignation, but they are eligible for unemployment when the current situation changes.
Oh, how benevolent.
They are under lockdown in Michigan. And so the reason that this happened, I'll tell you, is because they had all the employees of one of their stores say they weren't showing up. So they freaked out and sent that email out to the general managers. And that was an internal email that I got.
Well, I think pizza's the first breakdown, I think. It is extremely cheap to get, right?
Yeah.
But the chains are fucking falling apart. You saw the Domino's situation today, right?
No.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, on the Domino's subreddit, here's the heading. It finally happened. All employees are sitting outside our store on strike. This morning, our GM announced he would no longer continue working unless offered paid sick leave and store shut down for 14 days. This is a GM said that, as our entire store has been confirmed to have been being exposed to COVID-19. He then told us good luck and walked outside. Every single driver on shift right now followed him outside. The other 2 insiders did as well. The store is fucking empty. Every employee is sitting outside the store on the curb, turning away anyone who tries to come inside. I peeked inside a few minutes ago, and there's like 85 orders down, and you can just see tags pouring out of the printer.
Yeah.
Franchise owners are aware of this and are on their way to talk to us in person. Hopefully the local news comes here as well. We want the word to spread quickly.
That's fucking awesome. And where did that happen?
At Domino's.
And
it didn't
they
say
didn't
where.
say
It was
state or anything?
anonymous for Domino's employees, I guess. There's a lot of groups like that. I know Trader Joe's right now is being real heinous. They're not there's no hazard pay. There's no extra money. You've seen a lot of other businesses have given, $1 to $3 an hour to people that do work, things like that. Trader Joe's isn't listening to that kind of thing at all.
Yeah.
These chains, who gives a fuck if we lose these chains, right?
I know. Fucking let them all go.
We can open up new pizza places in the old Pizza Huts.
Honestly,
This was a Pizza Hut. Now it's a community-owned Pizza Hut.
Now,
That's a Talking Heads song. You got it. You got it.
I guess maybe now we could even salting is, maybe a risk, but Jesus
Well,
Christ, could you salt?
Pooja's coming out. Pooja said right now is the time that we have the most
Yeah.
power, and I even believe Blake Don't Crack from Twitter from the Hella Black podcast was on Means Morning News talking to the Sams about how revolutionaries seize the moment. They aren't like always going to plot like the perfect plan to get things over on anybody. We're not going to outgame these motherfuckers. So right now is a moment when essential employees, aka all of us that make the food for everybody else, can say, fucking make it yourself. You know, grocery store people can say, stock
Grocery
your own
store.
fucking shelves.
Grocery store people are just... you know what I've been doing now if I have to go into a place? I went to the grocery store the other night and stocked up so I don't have to go back for like a week and a half.
Yeah.
But when I finished, I did self-checkout, and I went up to the self-checkout guy, and I was like, I really want to thank you for being here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I got coffee earlier today at the North Market, and Stoff's was there. Place is completely empty, but they were open. So I went into the Stoff's, and I got a cold brew, and I've been tipping, like, more than I pay for the drink since... I'm getting a coffee. I tip more than I pay. And I look the guy seriously in the face and I say, I really appreciate you being here. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you for your service.
Just the same, dude, it really is. It really is the same as how those people treat the troops.
Thank you for your service applies to UPS, the post office, Amazon delivery drivers, every server, every single cook or chef, every grocery store employee. They're part of the service industry.
We can't go back to a
Thank you
world
for your
where we don't
service.
appreciate those people and call it unskilled labor for teenagers. We cannot go back to that world.
Absolutely.
We have to seize this, So here's a story that was big that I not only did I mention it on the call-in show, it'll be on Brace and Brian, but never did I go in detail on this. So let's do this.
Okay.
Now, I saved it because I wanted me and you to truly go into detail on it. GameStop has informed employees that if local authorities attempt to shut down their store in states with orders to close establishments deemed non-essential, they are to inform law enforcement that the company believes that they should be classified as essential retail and therefore is able to remain open during this time. The instructions came with a flyer to hand over to law enforcement and includes the phone number for GameStop's corporate office. 5 employees with access to the instructions and accompanying flyer showed copies to Vice Games today. GameStop did not immediately respond to a request for comment. GameStop issued the following statement in response to our story defending their decision to stay open. So they are going to defend it here, Brett. We get to hear their defense.
GameStop.
Non-essential. I would say that all games can be bought online. All of them.
Yeah, and digitally. And, I mean, what do they have in there? They've got
Funko Pops?
They've got to have, like, some sort of, like, a Pokemon Surge Protector or something that they can classify as, like, home goods.
Well, that's what I'm trying to think of anyway, because one of their... Let me read this statement and then we'll talk about this, okay? Because they explain why they believe themselves to be essential.
Yeah.
In this, go ahead.
I mean, I've actually had a conversation. I've heard this recently with someone that works for a company that does chemical and environmental cleanup, and they insist that they're not going to do any sort of environmental cleanup that isn't mandated by the government.
Yeah.
And that's how these businesses are responding to this is that, unless someone's forcing us to not make money, we're just going to stay making money.
Yeah.
We're going to sell these games.
It's like I can't think of anything more non-essential than a GameStop, though.
I mean, somebody in that boardroom that was like, we got to stay open.
Yeah.
That's the guy, that's whoever the guy or gal, non-binary pal in their boardroom that said we're essential. People need their games right now. They're going to clutch to their Captain Americas.
Well, I mean, I'm playing a
And they're
shitload of
Marios.
video games, too.
No, video games are
I'm playing
popping right
Tetris like crazy.
Yeah.
And, like, I get that people need that. But you know where I got Tetris? Online. I bought it on the fucking internet and downloaded it.
But you know what would make me feel better in this pandemic is if I had some of those Nerf Deadpool edition guns. That would be cool. the ones that shoot the tiny balls, the Nerf rivals.
Yeah.
They had a 2-pack of those. If it closed down, I really can't go get my medicine. I really need a couple of Deadpool Nerf guns.
Yes. That is the kind of shit they sell. They don't even really have like.
There's nothing of
They don't
any
have
use
the
in that
stuff.
place.
Yeah, the games are all digital. They're basically hanging cards on the wall now, so you can get the download codes off the fucking cards, which you can also get on the Switch.
But
you know,
I have to say, I mean, the downloads are a ripoff.
sure, I guess
Because you can't trade them back. You can't send them to nobody. Like if I buy the game, the problem is that your digital copy can't be exchanged or resold. Because I think they should stop making the games. They should just stay digital. But if I'm going to pay $60 for a digital game and it just stays on there, or I can pay $60 on a game and then trade it with somebody, or get $30, or maybe it becomes collectible down the line, that's where I'm going to go.
Sure, I guess.
Sorry.
I mean, I'm a convenience guy. So
Sure, I understand that.
I don't care. About the money.
I'm not worried about investing in video games right now. I'm not going to be mad if GameStop is shut down. I'm just saying that the whole store shouldn't exist. The whole idea is stupid.
Yes.
They make junk. They make nothing that's necessary, because all these games should be digital if you would just
Take some of the DR. Is it good DRC?
Yeah, the DRM, right?
DRM.
Yeah.
DRM. What I've been watching the PMRC stuff. It's just while GameStop is best known as a provider of gaming and home entertainment systems, we also offer a wide array of products and devices that are important to facilitate remote work, distance learning, and virtual connectivity. This is bullshit.
They probably have capture cards or something for Twitch.
Maybe. I've gone in there.
Look, my boss said I had to jump on PS4 chat. We have to do community building now. It's gone from the office to the home, so we're all gonna play. Oh man, what's the soccer ball car game?
Rocket League.
Rocket League.
As millions of Americans face unprecedented challenges adapting to virtual learning, working, and interaction, there is a significant need for technology solutions, and we are one of many providers of these products that are remaining open at this time. Schools, businesses, and families are now suddenly dependent on being able to connect through technology. While there are many businesses and organizations far more critical than ours, we believe we can have a positive impact during this very challenging time. The health and safety of our employees and customers is of the utmost importance, and we have and will continue to take extensive precautions consistent with the CDC guidelines. We are complying with all state, county, and city and local ordinance, and we will continue to adjust to any future developments. I sort of feel like this is like a bill collector, right? This is a bill collector during a snow emergency, or a bill collector now during a pandemic. Yeah, the bill collecting doesn't need to be done right now, so we'll just hold off on that, and it's like what I think they are holding off on that, by the way, because my calls are none. I haven't gotten any calls.
Well, I know some places aren't. I mean, I know Westerville doesn't have to pay. Their bills are going to show zero. That's what I read.
Fuck, I wish I lived in Westerville. My bills are going to show exactly the motherfucking same.
Yeah, this is what kind of sucks is I've been reading through the legalese. Like Geico sent me a message that was just like, hey, we're totally down to help you out. This shit is crazy. We're your best friend. We're a talking lizard that fucking
Pay it, though.
Hangs out with you. All they're saying is, we're going to do everything we're possible. And they said, we're even going to make payment plans that we've never even done before. But you're all on the hook. They're like, you're going to stay on the hook, but we're going to work with you so well to get all of our money.
That's what my furniture place is very much. The place I bought my couch. They sent me my statement today, and it just really, what it feels like is the landlord, the fuck you pay me like attitude. It's like, yeah, I know things are fucked up, but you still got to pay me. I still need you to pay.
You're going to get a check, so just go ahead and count it as part of the check, and then that'll be it. Somebody also was sharing links to a
have it.
a management company that was doing gift card giveaways.
Oh no, I didn't have. Oh, the one to pay your rent early.
They were saying pay your
sent
rent,
that to
pay
me.
your rent by March 31st and get entered into a sweepstakes for an Amazon gift card.
Yeah, the landlords are really popping off right now, man. It's good though because now we'll hate landlords more when the whole thing's over.
You haven't? Did you see the housing community in Houston?
No. Yes, the ones that all got together and said they filled out a paper and they said I'm not going to pay my rent, and then the landlord flipped out and posted on Reddit.
Yes.
Yes, I did.
So there was a landlord that owns like 32 units, and they said, "Gang, I just got a letter signed by all 32 units that said they're not going to be paying rent on April 1st. What do I do? This and that." Even funnier, I saw a follow-up in the comments where someone was like, maybe you could withhold maintenance services and tell them they at least have to give you money to do maintenance on the building. The landlord replied and said, okay, I'm going to do that. Sounds like a good idea. They came back later and said, well, they responded that 3 of the people that are tenants are construction workers and they can do any maintenance for free that needs to be done.
Yeah, kings. Yeah. I mean, these motherfuckers are gonna get bailed out. You know, the landlords and shit. They're probably gonna cut them a check, I would imagine. And you know how they are. They'll just keep it and still make you pay the goddamn rent. You know, like the thing I've been seeing most from landlords is I don't see why you don't dip into your savings. You're supposed to have, and it's some amount. I don't remember what the amount. 3 paychecks in savings. So I don't think it's that. 3 months pay.
Yeah.
Maybe we just get paid monthly,
right.
So it would be 3 paychecks, but 3 months pay, right?
No.
And it's like, yeah, I guess maybe we should have maybe thought about that, but maybe you should. You're the one with the disposable income, not us, you know?
Well, no.
Like, nobody has fucking savings. I hate to fucking break it to the world, but nobody has a fucking savings account.
No, we didn't save this money. We bought cool clothes instead.
Yeah.
We went out to eat and enjoyed our life.
Yeah, we gotta drip. And we can't do that if we're if we're putting money in savings.
Set aside 3 months aside.
3 months, shit, man. That's so much clothes I could have bought.
And here's the other thing that comes from me from a total, I mean, this is just basic. This is me as a lone wolf, the way that I think about this stuff. If you are going to take the risk of having your income rely on other people having money, that's the risk. That's an investment, right? It's like me throwing a fit at the fucking casino because I didn't get my money back. I heard you guys pay out 98%, and I left with no money. That's not fair. I should leave. I bet $100. I should leave with $98. It's like, no, you charge people for rent. You put all of this on the line. That's your fucking. It fell apart. It fell apart. This is what happened. Yeah,
that's what I've said about credit about me all the time. It's like, you fucking took the risk.
Exactly. You give me credit. You are responsible for when I don't pay for it.
The college loan stuff is. I always think of the college debt thing in that way. It's like, maybe you shouldn't have given me $60,000. I haven't paid any of my other bills.
Yeah.
Why would I pay $60,000? You know, this is all fake money. This is all fucking. This money doesn't exist. You know.
And even if I don't pay it, it's fine for you. You're able to recycle it and claim it on your taxes and get going.
I got another.
One more. Did you see the other guy that found out his brother-in-law had 50 illegal Airbnbs?
No.
He was basically he did the math, and his brother told him, I've been renting cheap apartments in popular places, and then renting enough Airbnbs to pay for it, plus bring in my money, right? Arbitrage. Just the difference between.
No idea what that means.
I'm sorry, the difference between the price of something versus what you can generate, and just keeping the income.
Okay.
But now there's going to be 50 fucking places. He has no Airbnbs now. Nobody is traveling. No one is getting Airbnbs. So now there are 50 landlords that this one guy owes that are all going to find out there was like an illegal hotel running out of their rental.
Awesome.
Which is great. I mean, I think that's good. That's a bright side. Like this dog eat dog like economy. That is hilarious that those people get fucked. Can you play that? I mean, we got time, dude. Can you play that Airbnb guy that I sent you?
You sent me an Airbnb. Oh yeah, I got another internal.
Okay.
Let me play this let me read another internal message first, and then we'll play the Airbnb guy. I like reading these internal messages because this is how they talk.
I know.
You know?
Well, then
and we're getting them. We're getting so
it's
many
overload,
of them, dude.
And this
it's
is
not overload. Keep sending.
No, I mean, it's just the amount is just so, it's incredible because they have to make a statement on this stuff, and they have to be, they totally don't want to sound greedy, and they're paying someone 6 figures a year to not sound like piece of shit assholes.
Yeah, we are your WikiLeaks. Send us all of this stuff. We will keep you anonymous, I promise. These just came in my DMs at 11:30. It's 11:37, so this is a hot tip. This is a coffee shop, a guy that owns a chain of coffee shops.
Okay.
So it's a local chain, so there's probably like 3 or 4 of them or something like that. I don't know how many stores there are. Hello, all roasters people. This is Wes. I know there's a lot of fear out there, and it's getting pretty intense. Lots of worry and unknowns about the future and where things are going. Oh, well, it seems like you're very sensitive to what's happening. Thank you, Wes.
You know what's going on. You understand my concern.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. Roasters was built in the midst of a crisis.
Oh, God.
And this is where we thrive.
Who is this old man?
Is he talking about 9/11?
He's probably maybe 10.
Let me Google.
You know what we can do? Street
What?
Fight was built in a crisis too.
Was it really?
We came off of that Bear Stearns crash like 2009, right? We came from that economy, right?
Well, the other shit.
Street Fight Media LLC was born out of a crisis, and Jason, you have to drive here to do our fucking live streams because we don't know how to do computers anymore.
Oh, this sucks. I can't figure out where it's at because it's giving me the Columbus places. Okay, but anyway. Roasters was so we have done a lot of work to serve our communities. Now is the time to be the light in the midst of this darkness. Wow.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. People need a hot cup of Java.
Yeah. I mean, the fanciest coffee place in town is probably One Line Coffee.
Okay.
And they are staying open, but their setup is amazing for this. They went all out.
Is that the one on High?
Yes.
On like Short North?
Yeah.
Okay, that is the fanciest one.
That's the best one.
Because they have all of the chemistry shit going on behind them.
I went there yesterday and I was like, I'm just gonna come here every day to get my coffee now because
what's the setup?
They fucking put tables in the front of the store to close off the whole rest of the store, and then they taped the floor 6 feet away from each other, and then you're only allowed 2 people in the store at the same time, and they only had 2 employees working, and they have hand sanitizer right on the wall. Wow. I was like, this place, I mean, like, places that are running like that, Jenny's Ice Cream, who has done their own dance with germs and shit.
Yeah, they are not the best at this.
Has, in the short north at least, has a orange velvet rope right when you walk in the door, and you basically got to yell across the room what you want, and then they put it on a table, and then you take it off the table and leave. Which places like that, dude, hey, you know, if you're going to stay open, you need to like really take the real precautions.
Yeah.
And these are the real precautions. And I feel good about that. You know, it's the place. GameStop ain't fucking doing that.
Yeah.
You know, GameStop, you can't just walk in and yell, "Give me Animal Crossing," and then they throw it to you, and then, you know, you pay with your phone or something like that, you know? And like every place.
Ooh.
What?
We've got some new people in the chat. Some people that have listened to us for years and are now finally seeing our faces for the first time.
Hi. Okay,
also,
here we go.
Frilly Clip Flicker's back.
Oh, hi, Frilly Clip Flicker. We will begin to go all out on marketing, deals, promos, spread hope, share love, and serve the community the best possible way we can. We will begin to push massive traffic to all locations for the rest of the month. There are lots of people losing out on paychecks, living in fear, and unable to see the light at the end of the tunnel. This is our opportunity to be a light to this community.
Oh, God.
I want all stores.
Coffee.
I want all stores staffed fully. Make sure you're healthy, full of energy, and ready to go all in.
Mm-hmm.
We are in a very peculiar spot, and I can't let this opportunity pass us up without taking massive action. And I want all of you to know I will not allow this company to suffer and any of you to lose out on the needed income to survive. We were made for times like this. Please prep yourselves. Work together with great energy. I got to go to the next screenshot. It's time to bring clarity and hope to the confusion and fear. Do not let your hearts be troubled. We will prevail. And after this is over, roasters will be the hero business to the community. More details to come. Get ready.
Rock on, dude. I can't wait.
That's only the first message.
Give me a medal. We need to give medals to these people.
It's a good speech. That one is
got me ready to serve coffee.
There wasn't anything in there that indicated that they weren't gonna not allow. I think as a matter of fact, there wasn't anything indicated in there that they were gonna take any special steps, any precautions.
No,
like one line,
sure,
or places like that. It really did sound like they were like, let's pack this place out.
Let's fucking do it.
We're gonna be the only fucking place, dude.
Let's make this the best month we've ever had.
All right, here's message number 2. Hello, all. Wes here again.
Wes is back.
Yeah,
it's me. I'm talking with. I'm going to say my first name so that you feel like you know me.
If you are uncomfortable to work, you are not required to. You do not have to. Please let your manager know, and you can have the next 2 weeks to the next month off if you choose.
Okay.
Your job will still be here once we get back to normal. Maybe not the same position, but a job more than likely.
Wow, that changed.
I
was one of your brave troops on the front line of fighting coronavirus, giving people the hot cup of joe that they needed. And now you're telling me that I can't get my job back? My experience doesn't matter?
So he says, unless the economy collapses completely, you may not have a spot. That's just the truth.
Oh, shit.
We need to know as soon as possible so we can accommodate your spot on the scheduling and close some locations if that's the case. Here's message number 3. We will remain open as much as possible and not fall victim to this problem. When the shelter-in-place order goes into effect, all drive-thrus and takeouts will still be allowed to operate, and we do not want sick or fearful workers in our shop at any point, if you can help it. We need positivity, hope, and love in these times of fear and anxiety. It's our only option. Otherwise, we join the masses in their hysteria, and it will cripple us as it will them. We are here to serve the community, even in the midst of fear, death, or war. Those of you that are willing to step up, please do. This is your time to shine. Onward.
Whoa.
What a guy. That was the speech. That was the internal. Let me send you all, get you in the Slack, and we'll give you a little speechy there. And it's very weird. Why? Why do that now? I understand doing, it's not inspirational speech, go back to work time yet.
No.
It is not time for you to stand in front of the masses and declare that you're going to be of service to the community, which is okay. I mean, people know how to make coffee. You're not essential. Your $4 coffees are not essential. I can make a $4 coffee at home.
Right. I think the coded language though is that you're allowed to have time off. We care about that, but we're looking for Spartans to fight with us on the front lines. And those of you that make it through coronavirus are going to be the leaders for the future. If you take the time off, if they take the time off, I mean, we can't guarantee your job's going to be back here or that anything really is going to go on. We have to make sure we have more room for our Spartans that are on the front line, you know.
Leader, you got to send it to me on Facebook. I can't play audio from my phone on the.
Oh, did I send it from my phone?
You sent it. You must have sent it on the phone because it's not. Or did you put it in a Street Fight messaging?
No, I just think I just tweeted it to you. I'll get it to you. It won't take.
Okay, yeah. Just put it in the. Just message
There's
me.
So many of them
on the application. I want to hear this
the
Airbnb
Facebook
guy.
application. Yeah, you're gonna love it. I think you're gonna be
DM it
really.
on Twitter too. I don't really care. I can give some people a little bit of Shocktober news. We'll be back in 3 weeks, but for one show, I don't know how easily I can make fun of Opie now, because Cheesecake Factory has announced that they're not paying rent on April 1st.
Okay.
They made this big announcement. Hey, we can't pay the fucking rent.
Yeah.
We're not paying it. You know?
We're month to month.
We're month to month right now. And when they made that announcement, they said, Opie retweeted it and said, they should give all the money they were going to pay for rent to the workers. And I was like, how the fuck am I supposed to go on and make fun of you? That was like 90% of the plan I had for the
that
next
was your
job.
tweet. He stole your tweet.
I know. 90% of my plan for the next October was Opie stuff.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, that sucks.
I'll still make fun of him.
I bet.
And I have Bubba to really go in on because he's being a real piece of shit, you know.
We're also doing the Holy Boys soon, and I watched a Benny Hinn clip.
4 weeks. We're recording it soon, but it starts in 4 weeks.
I saw a Benny Hinn clip about Corona, a recent one.
Touch the screen? Is he the touch? No, that's another one of our guys.
No, he's touch everybody. He is laughing it off. He thinks that shit is hilarious.
Benny Hinn. I can't wait
really
to talk
good.
about Benny Hinn.
He's one of the greats.
We're gonna do it soon. I'm glad you're watching stuff. All right, here we go. This is a tweet that Brett sent me from somebody named Weeaboo. And,
oh, no.
What? That's the name.
Okay.
I got to give credit to the
like
original
Weeaboos.
poster.
Yeah.
You know, here we go.
This message is for Brian Chesky of Airbnb. We are your loyal hosts and most devoted supporters. Well, that is, we used to be. Now, with fire boiling through our veins, we are collectively outraged.
Is this real?
We thought you cared until you stabbed us in the back and left us to die. You give us the illusion of stability, then you tear it from our bleeding hands when we need it most.
What is this guy doing?
You let us choose a cancellation policy, then you override it on your whim like a sadistic tyrant. Maybe you're good at big numbers, engineering the perfect algorithm, designing the perfect culture, building systems at gravity-defying scale. But you greedy, selfish, arrogant, flippant, wishy-washy, backstabbing bastard, you would not have an empire without us. It's our homes on your platform. It's our face on millions of listings. It's our soul that brings the magic.
This guy's giving a roaster
thoughtful
speech.
touches they love. It's our coffee they drink each morning. It's our
Shitty
place
coffee.
that makes you money. You may have started this company, but we helped you build it.
Wow.
As
not
you
really.
sit in your fancy office
You're a
dreaming
customer,
up
my
your
dude.
next billion, we are the legion that make it possible.
We are legion.
We are the fuel that powers your machine.
Oh, this
We
guy's a
are the
fucking
ones standing
geek.
in line for 5 hours to buy toilet paper so what few guests we have left can clean their ass before they cancel penalty free.
Get a bidet.
You are nothing without us. We are not numbers. We are not data.
What is he mad about?
We are people. Bleeding out with your evil, unethical, and immoral extenuating circumstances policy.
What is he mad about? Can I maybe the tweet has info on it.
There's everybody canceled on him, and he can't get his money.
And he is mad because they waived the cancellation fees.
And he should have got cancellation fees.
They fucking deserve it. Airbnbs are the shit. Like, I would love to talk to I would love, after this pandemic, to get every Airbnb owner in a room and yell at them and tell them all their houses suck.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same for me. Sometimes you find a cherry 1986 Camaro in a garage, right? And you take it home and you're like, I'm going to fix this thing back up, right? I'm going to make it ready to go.
Yeah.
And you never do the project, right? And 10 years later, it's a rusted bucket piece of shit. And it was once worth so much money and now it's worth nothing. And you lost money on your investment. That's how they go. That's how they go.
Yeah.
There's no one is required to give you money to stay at your fucking place. It's a
Yeah.
gamble. Every time
It is a gamble. Having
time
an
it's a
Airbnb
gamble.
is a gamble. And
This
like
is for
the
people
owners
that
are
already. This is for people that have, like you said, too much extra money. Anyways, this is not for Airbnb. Is not for somebody that's like essential employees. It's not like an essential employee also has a fucking Airbnb they're relying on for income.
I mean, an Airbnb is essentially a dollhouse for like an upper class person.
It is.
It's like, oh, let's make the house. Let's show everybody our taste.
Yeah, let's have 16 selected records, that will are refined and add like some elegance to this place.
Meanwhile,
let's have fucking concrete floors and exposed fucking ceilings or whatever it is.
Meanwhile, you fucking open a refrigerator and they got 2 bottled waters and a fucking diet squirt in there,
And they went
a
to
coconut LaCroix.
and they went to Costco and got the cheapest fucking trail mix, the ones that's just M&Ms and peanuts and raisins.
Yeah.
They got little bags of that.
Hotels,
Bags of pop. I love when they lay out microwave popcorn for you. Like, yeah, enjoy.
Yeah.
Put out the Orville Redenbacher for you.
They fucking the
Actually,
ones
it's
that
usually like
control
Magic Time. It's not even name brand popcorn.
the ones that control the thermostat are the fucking worst, man. It's like, hey, I decide.
Yeah.
I'm staying here. I make that decision. I hate Airbnb. Fucking 11 o'clock checkout time. Sometimes 10.
I had an interesting interaction with a horrible boss this week.
Oh, really?
So
And you don't even have a boss.
we did a Food Not Bombs pickup, and we went to a place. Someone that got fired from this restaurant contacted me and said, "Hey, we have a whole walk-in full of stuff that we want to donate. No other food banks in town. There's no charity organizations that are taking it right now. Can Food Not Bombs take it?" And I said, "Absolutely." So we go over there to unload it, and as I'm talking to the people, they're telling me stories. So the GM of this restaurant that's still employed, while they're firing them, they turn their computer around to show them like the circumstances of their firing or something, some sort of data on the computer. But you can see, because there's a projector, there's another monitor, you can see on the second monitor that they were shopping for Wayfair items. Like
Yeah.
they were firing.
So they were firing somebody.
them and also looking for a new like dinette set.
And how did you see it?
I didn't see it. This is what the employees of the restaurant that I was unloading were telling me.
Oh, Jesus.
And this
Christ.
manager also said, "I have 2 houses right now. How worried do you think I am? I have to pay 2 mortgages."
Did you say I don't give a fuck?
They didn't say that to me. This is what the employees
that's
were.
right.
This is relayed.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right,
But the last one. Sorry. There's more.
Oh.
As we were loading up the food to take it, they were shopping. They went through the boxes that were going to Food Not Bombs and were like, "Oh, I need some orange juice and some onions," and grabbed a bag and started loading a bag of Food Not Bombs donations to take home.
The 2-house ass manager
The
was?
2-house ass Patagonia wearing manager that was shopping on Wayfair took a bag of groceries from Food Not Bombs.
Oh my God. Go buy your own fucking groceries.
You still got the job, yeah.
We're all buying the fucking groceries. God, I'm spending. It's making me melt down when I go buy groceries now because I know I can't go to the store for another 7 days.
Yeah.
So the food bill, it seems higher. It's really showing me what kind of money I spend. Put it like that. Like
Yeah.
it is like, holy shit, man. My food bill is like $500 every 2 weeks or something like that. Yeah, I just buy so much, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I am buying more now, and I'm in a more comfortable spot financially, so
Sure.
I can buy some of the things I like, my ruby red grapefruits and stuff. So, and those are $10, and I bought some medicines and shit.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of saving money on the food. We were doing a lot of wasteful spending, and I feel now I'm just eating all the stuff that's in the cupboard and being way more thoughtful and paying attention to like when things expire a lot more.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you something. When this thing ends, no more daily store trips ever again.
Really?
We're done with that.
Why?
Because I learned that I cannot.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
I
way
didn't
better.
think I ever could. I never thought that it was possible to do. Like, I didn't think it was within my skill set to buy all the right stuff and not have to go to the store for multiple days.
Yeah.
But now I'm doing it, and I did it. And the first trip got me over a week. And then this trip should get me over at least a week and a half. And it's like, I didn't fucking know I could do that. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. It's not that I thought I was stupid. It was just like,
No one assumed that.
yeah, but no, but it is like, I did think that, like, I didn't have a planning ability at all, which my life sort of bears that out with you doing all my business planning and Katie doing all my life. Like, I have two people that plan a lot of shit for me. I mean, I do independent work stuff on my own, but when it comes to like the business stuff,
Yeah.
you know, you handle that stuff for me. So like, that has actually given me like a little boost of confidence that I was just like, oh my God, like, I can do this.
Yeah.
This is not out of my skill set. I could, and I'm going to. I'm going to be like, no, we're not going to the store tonight because we have food at home.
Yeah, we have 3 to 5 dishes that we can make. I mean, yeah, that was like when we went on. I mean, I'm at the point where, you know, when we went on the quarantine first, I was like, my people were freaking out running the grocery store, but I do keep enough on hand, even with dry goods and frozen stuff, where like I can chill for a while. But I'm glad that you've seen the light.
Yeah,
And we'll
I think I learned
one because I had a bag of onions. I didn't have one.
I have one
onion.
now.
I had a
I have
bag,
a bag of
onions.
motherfucking
I have a
onions,
bag
dude.
of potatoes all the time.
Bag of potato. You know, I did do some irresponsible buying though. I bought. We have biscuits and gravy for dinner tonight, and yeah,
Yum.
it was yummy. And but it was Bob Evans gravy. That shit's like $1, but it's still good.
Okay, if you like it.
you know. And so we had biscuits and gravy for dinner tonight, and I bought the biscuits already made in the bakery area. They were fucking delicious, but I felt sort of bad because I know how to make. I make very good buttermilk biscuits on my own.
Yeah.
But it was cheaper to buy them for $2.99 than it was to.
Yeah.
The buttermilk was going to be $1.
Yeah, we're not to you have to make them at home territory yet, so you might as well get the ones while you can.
Yeah, I feel good. I do. Thank you. I'm glad you reminded me of that because I have been feeling so good about that. That's been something that was like, I feel like I'm learning some things in this situation. And like, I mean, if I can learn how to be a person that doesn't go to the store every day and a person who keeps up, well, I've been obsessively keeping up with laundry too.
Yeah.
Like now that I don't have to go to the laundromat.
Right.
But I've been cleaning all the clothes every day.
Yeah. I do want to say I guess I would say for me even I've mentioned this, but my depression has really, as I've seen what other people are going through, it's very easy now because I listen to like I will listen to like mental health podcasts where people talk about like childhoods that are absolutely horrific, or I'll watch documentaries about the worst possible life you could ever have and read books about, you know, prisoners, things like that. I really like, I have to get dark, grim misery stuff sometimes to get me out of my hole. But I really haven't felt any need to be like that right now. I think it is a moment of clarity. Of course, it's a very uncertain moment, but I think that it also kind of pushes us into a situation where we have to decide what is important. Is my anxiety that fucking important right now? You know, what can I do with this time to make it better? Because, you know, whether or not the outcome is grim, I mean, you got to keep pushing forward. You got to still have seeds in the ground. We got to still plan for the summer. and it's that is where I've been trying to stay with my own like personal headspace.
I mean, I'm spending more time with my family too, which is really nice because I generally go walk all day, come home, they're work, you know what I mean, like they get home from work, they're fucking working school, they're fucking tired, and we just don't get a lot of time. And me and you, Wednesday nights we have that. But
how is school going? How is Gwen doing school? I mean, high school is serious. You haven't heard yet?
No, they said we expect to have you back on March 30th, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah,
but that's what they're holding out for, so I think they're waiting to cancel.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, look, in the neighborhood I live in, they're not going to get away with bringing people back to school on March 6th. Just people or March 30th. People will flip out.
Yeah.
And the people have power in my neighborhood because it's a school district that like all the kids go to the same school, and the parents are influential to the school. Like in other places, I don't know what they're going to do, but I think they'll cancel it by Friday probably. But yeah, he sent an email to the kids. The principal sent an email to the kids that said, "I expect to see you guys on March 30th." And it's like, okay, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know like what utility that message had, but let's go classic street fight. And let's
get a drink real quick.
Sorry. I'll tell you what, you go get a drink and I'll talk. And I can't set it up if you go get. How about we can't mark the time. I'll talk to the listeners. I'll go to the chat. So how's everybody doing? I guess I'm being like really happier now, so that makes me kind of happy. I'm looking at my YouTube suggestions and holy shit, it sucks. Brett's back. So here's what we're gonna do. This came out earlier in the week, and this is just one of them. We have two of them. This show might go a little long. I think we're an hour in. Yeah, we're a little over an hour in, but I want to get both of these videos in. Brett, we're going to go after Micro.
Okay.
You got your headphones in. Okay, so the apolitical, nonpartisan Micro showed up on PragerU, which is not nonpartisan at all.
Yeah, PragerU, for someone
everybody knows.
Doesn't know. I think there are some people that may need some clarity. That's true. They're on college campuses, or are they there?
I think it's Dennis Prager, who is a conservative Christian guy, I think. It's like they're saying this is...
They're supposed to be informative political videos with the extreme right-wing bent.
Yeah, extreme right-wing is the way to say it, because he says he's apolitical. Mike Rowe.
Right.
Here's Mike Rowe.
Prager is very bad.
I'll look him up before we start shit talking him. And,
I mean, I guess I've seen. Yeah,
he's a radio host.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay. Dennis Prager is an American conservative talk radio show host and writer. His views generally align with social conservatism. He founded PragerU, an American nonprofit organization that creates videos on various political, economic, and philosophical topics from a conservative perspective.
Yeah, it says PragerU is not an accredited academic institution and does not offer certifications or diplomas, but it is a place where you are free to learn.
It is.
That's what Mike Rowe's here for.
And Mike Rowe is gonna teach us something. Let's hear it.
Time to learn.
By the way, Brett, before you tell me to full screen this, they can't see it on the stream.
That's true.
I was just gonna let you know.
Okay.
I mean, unless you want to see
I realized that after I said it.
Yeah, I was like, why? But here we go.
We need to add it to the stream.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Here we go.
Consider the reality of the current job market. Right now, millions of people with degrees and diplomas are out there competing for a relatively narrow set of opportunities that polite society calls good careers.
Mike, this is tone deaf. like everybody's out of work at this point, and a lot of people would just take anything. And secondly, even people who graduate from college, I've never met somebody who graduated from college that said, most people I've met, when they get out and once the loan payments become due, are pretty much willing to do anything that will get them paid enough to pay rent and pay for their fucking loan payments. This idea that like somebody goes to school, they major in English, they graduate with an English degree and then don't want to do a job unless it's in their field is bullshit. Because most people that have a degree are not working in their field. You know, the degree is necessary to get a lot of jobs that pay enough money to live the life that you're supposed to be able to live at some point, right?
Agreed. The title of this video is "Don't Follow Your Passion," and my wife actually had this circumstance happen where she was in a college where there was, you know, I don't know, a couple dozen people that were in her field or class or specialty, whatever it's called in college world, and almost none of them are doing the job that they went to college for.
No,
but that doesn't mean they failed.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean they fucking failed.
Yeah,
it means they diligently learned a lot of stuff and got a lot of skills, and I think a lot of people do need to go through those circumstances to find who they are or what they're going to be, you know?
Yeah.
It's not a waste of fucking time.
It's definitely not a waste of time. You learn a lot about yourself when you go through college, and you should be allowed to learn what you're passionate about. I can fucking learn plumbing if I need to be a plumber.
If I have to.
You know? But like this idea that the arts that the liberal arts are these like wasteful college degrees is so stupid. I learned so much, and I'm not a sociologist now, but I do a fucking I apply the things I learned when I went to school for sociology to my current job now.
Yeah.
You know, I use that stuff. And like that probably means I'm not the only person that's done that, and there are probably a lot of people that got degrees that Mike Rowe thinks are worthless that are using the skills that they learned getting that degree to make the job better for themselves and maybe work better, you know?
Yeah.
Like he's lying when he says that people get sociology degrees and they just don't want to get a job until it's sociologist. You know, that's dumb. That nobody thinks like that.
No.
You know, we're all pretty real. I think when it comes to work, people are pretty realistic and optimistic. But what happens is work beats that out of them. Yeah. Once the work starts, that's where the problems come.
And let me just go ahead and cut right through this fucking thing and say it's 2020 right now. Back in the year of fucking 2000, back in the years of fucking 1990, every micro motherfucker out there was saying, you better go to college. That's the only way you're going to get anything that you want in this world.
Yeah.
College was... Even from these fucking people.
Yeah.
No working class person in the 1990s was telling their kid that college was a waste of time and for babies.
Working class people were telling their kids to go to college so that they didn't have to do the jobs that
more than anything
they were doing. Yep.
My parents never actually fomented the type of environment to get me into college, but they desperately just wanted me to go to college more than anything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now I don't know if they would agree with that. I think they might deny. I think they might say, you know, I think they might disagree.
Yeah. Here's the rest of the probably the rest.
Now, meanwhile, employers are struggling to fill nearly 5.8 million jobs
this is such
that nobody's trained to do.
So bullshit.
This is the skills gap.
Then why don't they fucking
It's real,
train them?
And its cause is actually very simple. When people follow their passion, they miss out on all kinds of opportunities they didn't even know existed.
Oh my God.
So
that's bullshit. That's bullshit. What is this?
Let's check the video out. Because that was part of that PragerU, we can play the whole video if
So
it's not forever.
You know what, Brian? I need to work on I always say I need to work on my micro. I really have to do it. Brian, these kids these days, they just want to be SoundCloud rappers. That's all it is. We have hundreds and thousands of teens trying to be SoundCloud rappers. They won't sign up to work in a steel foundry. And that's why we had to send it overseas. It's bullshit.
Like, there's no fucking possible way there's no possible way in the world that we could, like, teach these people to do the jobs that they need the positions for. Like, these 5.8 million jobs that these employers are trying to give away, the employers just want to give them away, but they can't train anybody on how to do them. They would never do such a thing.
Right.
It's like, okay.
Right, then what am I supposed to do? Go to college to learn it? I mean, Mike, what am I supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
How else do I learn that?
Ah, shit. I can't.
Oh, God. You accidentally opened a video from PragerU called The Woman That Saved Great Britain. I can only
That was what
imagine
Thomas
who's
horrible
that
is
about.
happening right now.
pamphleteer wrote
All right,
in
here's what
17...
we're going to do to get rid of that.
Don't follow your passion. That's what Mike Rose says. Work in a ditch for $14 an hour.
Brett, you know what I think you need to see?
Here's the thing. You go to college, right? You're going to be paying $6 an hour just to go to college. You might as well work for $11 an hour instead of getting paid $18 an hour, right?
Yeah, you're almost dumb to go to college instead of like, oh man, this video is fucking gone.
They don't have the Don't Follow Your Passion video anymore?
Yeah, but I have to go through the PragerU videos to find it. And I mean,
this is honestly one of his favorite talking points.
Yeah, we've heard this one, so let's hear the new one.
He loves, he goes on Fox News all the time.
Well, he was on there this week too. He's on his worst behavior this week.
This is their time to shine. This is really when they want to show how strong and tough they are and how much they don't give a shit about anybody else but themselves, right?
Yep. I got it. I'll have it.
You're
up here in a
probably
second.
thinking, how am I going to pay my rent this week? Why didn't you first think, how can I get a new job? Right? Like, it's your fault, you fucking dummy.
All right, let's do this, man. Mike Rowe on, I believe, Fox and Friends. We're gonna do the whole fucking thing here. I don't know how long it is, so I don't know what the whole thing is, but here we go. Buffering. Yeah, of course, it's Fox News. You gotta get a commercial.
Yeah.
Don't tell them what it's for because they aren't gonna say the words out loud.
Oh, it's a fucking luxury sedan that's actually a truck. It's like a luxury sedan that gets 10 miles to the gallon. Can you believe?
I want one of those.
He's the author of The Way I Heard
8
It.
minutes.
Good morning to you, Mike.
Yikes.
Hello, guys. How's it going?
Hello. So I know
This
you
is
have
a
a
woman
message
there.
for those out there, those first responders, doctors, nurses, those that are on the front lines fighting coronavirus.
Yeah, it's short, it's sweet, it's thanks. I honestly don't know what else to say that hasn't been said, which is weird for me because I host a show called Returning the Favor, whose entire purpose is to figure out new and exciting ways to say thanks on television. And obviously we're in a crazy new world now, and I'm trying to figure out what that show looks like in this new order. But
As a content creator.
You know, what else can you say to the health care workers?
That's the thing. Being a content creator, this is pretty easy.
We're awash in gratitude. We owe you one. There are no words. And when you're this tongue-tied, what else can you do except say thank you very, very much?
So, question, Brett. Do you think, knowing what we know about Mike Rowe, he is talking about grocery store workers, fast food workers, Lyft drivers. I said Lyft drivers, Uber drivers, Amazon workers. Do you think he's talking about any of those people?
No, healthcare, probably, right? That's
anybody but those people, because he treats those people as though they're shit.
Yeah.
You know, he treats those. he thinks about those people that like they are the losers. They lost. They could have fucking learned how to do plumbing.
Right.
And they would be fucking rich right now with one of the 5.8 million extra jobs out there.
One of the things they should have done before they chose the job of stocking shelves at the grocery store is consider there could be a global pandemic that would put them at risk for only $9 an hour.
Yeah, yeah.
That's his methodology.
Like he is, again, this guy is the voice. A lot of working class people see this guy as their voice. And even a lot of like middle class types see this guy. Actually, that's probably the thing that's truer is that upper class people see this guy as the voice of the working people. It's not working class people thinks he's like a charming guy and he stood in shit.
Yeah.
A few times, you know?
Yeah. I mean, he's somebody that gave them camera time.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. Here's more.
Mike, you are, and you do, and your show does that, and these healthcare workers are going to need more because this is not going away. And a lot of them coming out of retirement to help out, which is staggering. A lot of them testing positive, which is stunning, but almost expected. And they're going to need some help real quick, just material to be able to do their job. But I got to ask you, too, about corporate America. From what we see so far, we see pledges to help out. When General Motors says we're going to convert our plants, when Tesla says we're going to convert our plants, when 3M is a little late but says I'm going to get some masks to you. How
3M, thank you. And 3M said I'm going to get some masks to you.
Yeah.
We're getting the pro-capitalism skinny here. This is like hiding in my father-in-law's closet in his room and watching him jack off to Fox News. Like it's like a pervert. Like I think I have this picture in my mind of like my dream of like hiding in a closet with the slatted doors watching some fucking conservative watch their TV and be like, yeah, get them, don't fucking talk about,
That's right. They get startled and their plate of chips falls off their belly.
My father-in-law spills a little bit of his cup of Fireball.
Yeah.
Not allowed to drink Fireball anymore, but he was for a very long time only drinking Fireball. Out of a large cup too. Like he would get like a cup this big and like sip the Fireball all day. Loved that shit. He was like, it's healthier than beer. You know, it's...
I guess.
Doctor had to tell him like, there's a lot of sugar in that Fireball. If you're drinking a bottle a day, that's...
Yeah, that adds
a
up.
lot.
That adds up.
That all adds up. God, I'm curious about what he's thinking because he was recently sick with pneumonia, so he is immunocompromised for this sort of thing. But he also lives out in the middle of nowhere and never leaves his house, so he's not really an at-risk person.
Yeah.
So he's probably sitting there talking shit about everybody that gets it and is saying we need to stay in and quarantine.
Makes sense. I think I can see that.
God, I hate them. I hate them all.
important is it for corporate America to step up, but ethically, not gouge and produce?
Can you pause that?
Critical, but you know what? Obviously,
I forgot what we left off there. He said 3M's going to throw us some masks. Ford and Chevy, they're going to convert. They're talking about them like they're fucking people. Like they're doing us a favor. And like there isn't a bunch of us that are actually the ones who are going to be doing all of them.
I know! The people... 3M's going to throw us some masks.
3M.
The employees at 3M are going to make a bunch of masks. And then you're going to give them away. It's not the CEO or the board at 3M that's made the decision to get everybody masks, you know?
Yeah, it's weird. It's a shitty time.
Such a good point. I rewound a little bit.
All right.
To step up, but ethically, not gouge and produce.
it's critical. But you know what? Obviously, this is not it shouldn't be a political thing. And I don't want to make it a political thing. But
it is a political thing. Everything's a political thing. You're on Fox fucking News right now.
Yeah, this is a very political.
And coronavirus response and all of that stuff are extremely fucking... This is like as politically charged as possible. This is where we're seeing what the federal government and what the capitalists are made of. We're seeing what like rich people, but we're seeing like what a Jeff Bezos is worth to us at this point. We're seeing so many fucking things that it's like when Facebook just gave 75,000 masks that they had at their place. They were like, oh yeah, we did have these masks at Facebook. We'll give them to some healthcare workers.
Right.
And it's like, why? And then you're hearing also that like people are wearing trash bags to some of the doctors are having to wear trash bags to work on people and shit. So this is a total failure of what they believe to be the market and capitalism.
Yeah.
Here.
Agreed.
Obviously, this is not it shouldn't be a political thing.
It
And
is.
I don't want to make it a political thing. But
You're an idiot.
my answer to your question in general terms is this virus, we're going to see what capitalism is really all about. When we have these big conversations about the direction the country is headed and what direction the country ought to be headed, this is a chance, unlike anything I've ever seen, for corporate America to step up and do what the government simply can't do. Obviously, the government has a primary role in this, but I don't think they can do it alone. And I'm actually really...
It's good to see us taking capitalism for a little spin, you know? We're going mudding in capitalism right now, you know?
Before, I mean, we were just doing regular stuff, providing for everybody, you know, there was abundance for all. We had achieved post-racial equality. Now we kind of get to do a little stress test.
Yeah, it's fucking time, man. It's fucking time. We're out here and capitalism is doing so fucking great at handling this thing. Terrible. Like, we're in a terrible situation. If capitalism fucking worked, we'd all be getting tested.
Yeah.
We can't even get a fucking test. I'm gonna go back.
Time to open her up.
Yeah, let's open up capitalism. I'm going to take capitalism on a race with socialism and see who can win right now.
We just read how many responses from Pizza Hut and Domino's and all the other places. And they've only showed themselves to just be the greediest motherfuckers ever, even though they're the most comfortable. Mm-hmm. Like, we have more reason to be concerned than they ever will.
Yep.
Those big companies can get whatever they want.
Jeff Bezos asking people at Whole Foods to donate their sick time to other workers, that's capitalism. Let me do it. That's a capitalism. My God, you know, sometimes you just got to say it, you know.
No, it's right.
The people. But
right
here we go.
simply can't do. Obviously, the government has a primary role in this, but I don't think they can do it alone. And I'm actually really heartened. You know, 3M and Roush and General Motors and a lot of these smaller companies too who have completely retooled and retrofitted. You know, I'm looking at these distilleries who are now making hand sanitizer. It's big and it's small, it's micro, it's macro. It's everybody doing what they can in a way that I think could ultimately make about the most compelling case for capitalism that we've seen in our lifetime.
Look at South Korea and Vietnam instead. Look at that. Look at those numbers.
Yeah. China.
Yeah. There's other places, actually, I think. But it's early. It's early in this still.
They are fucking us so bad. Capitalism is so bad right now. People can't even fucking get toilet paper or hand sanitizer at any of the stores. You know, none of the delivery apps can deliver the stuff within the time frame. And also the delivery apps mean that workers are being exploited at a higher level than ever before.
Yeah.
And this guy, he acts like he's out there. He's the voice of the fucking working man, but he is the voice of the board of directors. He's a guy that puts on a fucking denim shirt and fucking dances for CEOs of multi-billion-dollar companies. What a piece of fucking shit. We're not even done with this and I'm mad. You know? I think capitalism's doing great. You know, we don't have any of the stuff that we need, and we can't test people, and healthcare is fucked because we don't have enough stuff to do stuff because we don't have a system in place at all. We have a bunch of little fucking systems. Yeah, it's fucking great that companies have decided to retrofit to make ventilators and to retrofit to make masks. But socialism could fucking do that too, and do it. Socialism or communism could do that in a way where nobody's getting fucked or exploited or any of that stuff, and we could have done it on a fucking dime. You know, we didn't have to convince 3M to make new shit. We didn't have to convince all these people to make ventilators and stuff like that. This is like such a failure of capitalism that like it feels like we live in a failed state right now. We're handling this so much worse than China, South Korea, Vietnam, maybe not Italy, but there's a few. We are not handling this well. And now we're talking about putting everybody back out there and just letting them get it and letting a bunch of people fucking die. And this is like him saying capitalism, it's great, it's working, it's wonderful. I love this thing. This fucking guy. Here's more.
Too, Brian. I'm also fascinated by this notion of essential jobs. We all know what essential jobs mean right now in this moment in time because we're crystallized and we're focused and we understand just how needy we are. But it'll be interesting to see how that definition evolves over the coming weeks and months. For instance, if your toilet won't stop running or if your faucet won't stop running, you know, are the plumbers available? You know,
fucking plumbers. This fucking guy with the plumbers, dude. And I'm sure there are plumbers listening to this show and being paid exploitative wages to do plumbing, you know? Unless you're in a union, you're probably not making shit, you know?
An essential job, to my way of thinking, has always been a person who does a thing that you can't do. And the more we're isolated and the more we have to rely on ourselves and our families to take care of the stuff in the house, right? We're going to have a whole different conversation about what essential means and what essential is, I think.
But why did he go?
Because he doesn't respect them.
Yeah.
He doesn't respect service workers. He looks at them as shit. Is what he does.
Yeah, I mean, I hate doing toilet stuff all the time, but he took it there. In that, I mean, he's essentially just saying, is the government going to say you're not allowed to have someone come to your house and fix your toilet, right? Like, how crazy are we going to get? Are we going to say plumbers aren't essential? No, I don't think we will.
Fucking nobody's saying that.
I don't think we will. I think flowing water is something that we're going to keep worrying about. That's something we're going to keep happening.
And plumbers are essential. He's not even giving the respect to the service workers to dignify them by saying that they are essential.
Right. The person that works the Raising Cane's drive-thru is essential right now.
The person that runs the person that has to come into work and stock the shelves at the grocery store for them all to be empty in 2 hours is
essential.
Essential, yes.
Absolutely. And in New York State, where, you know, New York is pretty much on a lockdown, those are essential jobs. You know, the plumbers, the electricians, the people who keep the houses going. But Mike, you know, when you saluted the first responders and the people who are tending to the sick people, you know, at the same time, because we are all stuck in our houses a lot of the day, except to go out and walk around and commiserate with the neighbors from about 10 feet apart, you know, the grocery stores still have plenty of things on the shelves. And
what is this?
A lot
this
of it
guy's
has
great.
to do with the supply chain. And it's the people who drive the trucks and stock the warehouses. And they get up every morning and they are doing their jobs. And they're the people who are making this self-isolation much more livable because we don't have to worry about running out of soup.
They do not give a fuck about the people that are actually on the front lines of this thing. They do not give a fuck about cashiers. They can't even bring themselves to say cashiers.
True.
They can't even bring themselves to say baggers, people who go out and get the carts and bring them back. Real people that are really on the front lines of this thing, you know? Like they can't even bring. It's the truck drivers and it's the supply chain.
It's the illegal labor that we exploit that's picking all of the produce.
Yeah,
that keeps it flowing.
Yeah, but why the fuck can't they get it? If the supply chain's so good, then why the fuck is there no toilet paper? Why can't I get bread? If the supply chain's working,
I think that's people's problem.
That is true. Why are you buying all the toilet paper?
The hoarders
Cut the
fucking
toilet
awful.
paper out. Yeah. God damn. You got enough. You know? People are running out of toilet. I saw on Nextdoor yesterday. Does anybody got any toilet paper they want to sell?
People are running out.
I'll throw them some money.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
That's
not
true.
because of any natural running out of toilet paper. They just fucking, for some reason, it's Charmin did this, right? Charmin was like, hey, I'm going to be stuck in a house for a little bit. You're going to need to clean up your doo-doos.
Sherman said that?
No, it's a secret
You think so?
conspiracy.
Yeah.
It's like the salt companies, right? It's like how the salt companies say that there's going to be a big snowstorm every year at the end of the year. They feed a fake story to meteorologists to say, there's going to be a big snowstorm in like April.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't happen, but everybody went out and bought a bunch of salt.
Yep.
And that's how they get rid of their overstock of salt.
That makes sense.
That's a fact. And I think Charmin did some of the same shit here. Because why was it toilet paper? I don't even remember why toilet paper became a thing.
I really don't I guess because people are going to be stuck at home. Maybe you're usually shitting at the office more.
No. Most people are home-based shitters.
I shit at the office.
I would say, if we're looking at percentages of people, 70% of people are home-based shitters. They shit at home.
Okay.
30% shit at work, and they're all socialists that are on our webpage, that are in our Facebook group.
Yeah, they're trying to get paid to poop.
Yeah.
Where would we be without the connection that's allowing us to talk right now? Where would we be without FedEx, UPS, Amazon Prime? There are two primary things that are keeping us sane at the moment, aside from walking around and commiserating with the neighbors from a polite distance. The people who are bringing us the stuff we need and the technology that allows us to remain connected as we are right now. Man, we have never been more disconnected as a people, ever, that I know of. And yet,
what are you talking about?
We've never been more connected than we are right now as well, in a weird, different way. I honestly feel like
I don't even know what that
the country
means.
is going through that Kubler-Ross, the 5 stages of grief. But we're doing it at different times. Some people are still in denial. Some are depressed. Some are angry. Some are bargaining. You see bargaining all the time. And some have accepted the fact that things aren't going to go back to normal for a while. We don't know the cost of the disease. We don't know the cost of the cure. We're stuck in a traffic jam,
God.
And we have no idea when
Cost
it
of the
ends.
cure. Who
It's
taught
like when
them
the
that
power went
buzzword?
off here in Northern California.
Yeah.
A
Well,
couple of months ago.
it
was
started
all for
coming
4
out
days.
early
But
last
doesn't
week. It was
feel
in
like
the
4
federal
days when
list
you're on
earlier
day
in the
3.
week.
It feels like, man, maybe it's never coming back on.
Cost of the Cure would be a fucking sweet song.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, the cost of the cure is
The cost of the cure.
It doesn't have to be a heavy metal
Cost of the
song.
Cure. Yeah, it totally sounds like thrash metal.
You think
song.
it sounds like a fucking Megadeth song?
Yep.
It probably will be.
Cost
now.
of the Cure?
Yeah.
It's a perfect Megadeth song.
Cost of the Cure by Megadeth. I hate this man. And again, the disrespect of the people at the cash register. I mean, okay, so he gave Amazon drivers. What the fuck? Okay, he gave Amazon drivers their due, which is great. Because they're not they are service workers, but he doesn't consider them service workers because he's dumb. And he doesn't consider cable guys service workers because he's fucking not smart enough to understand what service work is. You know, he's like, no, you drive a truck. You're actually a skilled laborer.
Sure.
It's like, no, that's service work. Here's more. We're almost there, Brett. I promise.
ASAP Spurg says
So,
that Cost of the
I
Cure
think
sounds
that's
like a
where we
9 Inch
are.
Nails song they'd fuck to.
I like
Now
that.
you're into it?
I do.
Cost of the
Well,
Cure.
not that I fuck to, but
Cost of the Cure by 9 Inch Nails.
yeah. 9 Inch Nails is a good one.
Okay, Will K just comes in with the facts. Megadeth literally has a song called Poison Was the Cure.
Okay.
So, there you go.
Okay. All right, here we go. Poison was the cure. Tipper Gore was probably so mad at that. That's like one of the things Tipper would have written about. By the way, before we'll do it at the end.
Collectively as a people, we're trying to get up to speed with what we don't know. And in the meantime, one way to stay sane is to thank the driver who brings you your stuff. It's to get an attitude of gratitude and live it as best you can. Because ultimately, going back to your very first question, where in the world would we be without the essential jobs, the non-essential jobs? My own foundation had to push its work ethic scholarship program a month. And boo-hoo, that's not a big deal. But believe me, when we get through this, the kinds of jobs that we're training people to do are going to be the essential jobs. And I'll be back on your show talking about them. I can guarantee it.
Fuck off.
You're training people to work at McDonald's?
Yeah.
You're training people people don't need a lot of training to drive a car for Lyft and Uber and Grubhub and DoorDash.
You're pivoting to teach people how to get a union contract from Instacart.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what we would do, right? Like that's kind of our opinion is like the people that are doing the real work. Like, he did not at all acknowledge the people that are working out there. He does not acknowledge the fucking service workers or any of those people. Anybody under truck driver is a piece of shit to him, basically.
Yeah, just disposable, really.
Yeah. I dislike the man immensely. All right. Well, that's the show. We gave you a long one, I think. Let me look. Yeah, we almost gave you 2 hours. And I got a little release schedule and stream schedule the stuff. I think Friday night at 9 we are going to be streaming the PMRC hearings and maybe some the Oprah video with Jello Biafra and a few of those other things with Sam Knight and Sam Sachs from the District Sentinel Radio. And I think that ought to be really fun.
We're doing that on Friday?
Friday night.
Okay.
And, sorry, it just got put together. During the show. And this Saturday, either Friday or Saturday, there will be a Brace and Brian that me and him did that was a lot of fun. And on the next, by the time you hear this, the Bill Simmons episode, very weird episode of March Madness will be out. And then God, I got one more thing. Fuck. Well, I guess that's all of it. I totally forgot.
March
but
Madness.
That's the schedule right now.
TrueAnon, were we supposed to do something with them, maybe?
We might do a stream watching Doors interviews with Brace and Liz from TrueAnon.
Okay.
We talked about it. And, more stuff to come. I wish we could announce tours and shit like that, but I will keep you posted on the content that's coming out of here. We're about 2 weeks away from the next Shocktober, and get people on that Patreon. Oh, I know the last thing. We are releasing the first half of Pump Up the Volume.
Yes.
On our Street Fight video Patreon feed. So we watched the first half of Pump Up the Volume. We'll watch the second half next week, and we're releasing them. And
Pump Up the Volume is a movie from 1990 starring Christian Slater. He is a pirate radio person at his local high school. So it was very informative for Brian's life.
It's probably what made me want to do radio, to tell you the truth. That and listening to shock jocks. But that was the first inclination that I didn't feel like a comedian, but I wanted to do something funny. And it was that.
Yeah.
You know, that movie.
You did it. So that's coming. Also, this week on the Patreon is going to be the follow-up to Some Kind of Monster, the Metallica documentary. The first half was there. The second half is coming. You'll get that at patreon.com/StreetFightRadio. If you want to support Street Fight and what we do through these trying times, you can do that at patreon.com/StreetFightRadio. And we appreciate all the support as we move forward.
And if there's anything that you would like us to do streams about, please, like, hit up the Street Fight account, hit me up on Twitter, and let me know if there's some videos or something you'd want us to watch. They have to be on YouTube, and they have to be, you know, something that won't get us kicked off. And if there's guests that you would like to see do stuff, let us know.
Yeah,
because maybe we can work all that stuff out.
I think I want to start doing the reaction clips to metal songs. I want to have people start sending me music that I hear for the first time ever on camera.
See, I'm a very anti first time you hear it guy.
I love to capture that reaction, though. If it's good, it's good.
But if it sucks, which
They deserve
99% of the time it's going to suck. You know what I'm saying? You don't.
Sorry.
How often do you listen to a song the first time and are like, that's the best song? That song's great.
Lots of times.
You do?
That's how I cheat my happiness, is I'm just always tell myself I'm listening to the best song I've ever heard.
One time in my whole life, I went to a concert having never heard the band before. And liked it. And that was Sheer Mag. Is the only time that's ever happened to me.
I've always gone to concerts to hear openers. I mean, I like Jim Shorts. I loved immediately. I'd never heard them before we saw them.
Who'd they open for? I didn't see that because my fucking daughter.
They opened for Taco Cat.
Yeah.
I heard this song "Satan Is Real" by Creator and immediately thought it was one of the best metal songs I've ever heard. What was I listening to? Somebody else sent me something today called Vatican.
By who?
Vatican is the name of the band.
Metal?
Yes.
Oh my God. Will you do me a favor and listen to a few acts that I read about in Tipper Gore's book? I'm going to be on Chapo soon doing a book club with Will about Tipper Gore's book, Raising PG Kids in an X-Rated World. And the only thing it made me want to do the whole time was listen to Wasp.
I was listening all day. They have a bunch of good songs.
What is your Wasp opinion here?
I mean, all of the songs are about sex. Like, in a weird way.
Violent way.
No.
Well, she says they're all, like, very violent sex songs. Porn rock is what she called it all.
I mean, it's all just like, I want to feel good. You make me feel good. I feel understood. And they talk about wetness. Like, the songs are just like, there was one like, I want some jack action. And it's like, is that jacking off or like somebody else jacking you off?
They got it. Yeah, they
Jack action.
They don't J.O. Those guys. And another band I want you to check out that I
like Wasp. It's all about sex.
The other band I want you to check out that I'm not going to listen to because it's just not my kind of shit, but you're really into it right now, Venom.
Okay, I will listen to Venom.
Check out Venom because she is all mad at Venom and Wasp, basically, and Twisted Sister, but yeah.
I like this one, Wasp, Blind in Texas. This is funny, the switch, because I just texted you that I'm listening to Wasp right now, and like every song is weirdly about dicks or some sort of sexual thing. But this one is called Blind in Texas, and I thought it was going to be like a drinking song. It goes, an El Paso hellhole, I couldn't get much higher. White lightning moonshine tastes like fire. I drank for free till I couldn't see. I fell on the floor, and what I said is... So I thought this was like a drinking song, right?
Yeah.
I'm blind in Texas. The Lone Star is hot tonight. It's like back to the sex again.
Yeah.
It was immediately, this Lone Star is hot tonight.
The funniest thing in Tipper Gore's book is when she she like describes parts of concerts.
Yes.
And I posted this, and you've probably all already seen it, but it is funny, and I think worth a read, I guess.
Yes.
Just for the listeners, I think they'll think it's really funny, and it's like maybe one of my favorite things ever. Okay, here we go. Oh, God. I sent it yesterday, so it's way back there. All right, here it is. And this is Tipper Gore describing this. Members of Motley Crue, a band popular with young teens, thrive on explicitly describing sexual activities in public. As part of their act, they have been known to shout into the microphone such statements as, "Do you motherfuckers like to eat pussy? Do you know why our fucking hearts are broken tonight, Boston? Because we can't eat all that Boston pussy tonight."
Okay.
We can't get our hands on none of that. We can't eat all the... I mean, it's generous of them to just...
Yeah.
They're going to eat the pussy.
Think about the uneaten pussy in Boston that night. I mean, it was a wild time, but also the stuff that you've sent me is so mild compared to like what the music is nowadays.
Oh, I know. They didn't even talk about eating ass at all.
No, there's no eating ass in metal. None of it.
None, no. I don't think there was. But she, the reason PMRC started was because of the song Darlin' Nikki by Prince. That's the song she heard and said, I got to start a whole thing about it. Her daughter bought Purple Rain, and it freaked her out. Because she would her kid would buy an album, and then she would make her sit with her and listen to the album. And then she's like, my daughter was embarrassed to hear these lyrics, Darling Nikki. And it's like, because she's sitting next to her mom, listening to somebody sing about masturbating. That's why. It's not, she probably loved the goddamn music.
Yeah.
Another funny anecdote in that book that cracked me up was a guy said his like 8-year-old son was singing Ozzy lyrics, and he heard him doing it, and he was like, he took him to the record store and he showed him an Ozzy album cover, and he was like, is that the kind of thing that you want, the kind of guy that you want to be singing his lyrics? And the kid said no, and he got scared, but the kid was doing the thing where you tell the parent what they want to hear, because there's no fucking way. That
Once
kid
he saw him, he was like,
people can be like this?
Yes.
It's so weird to see people up in arms about
music,
rock music. It's so funny to read. It's such an artifact of the past.
It really is. There's not much of that going on anymore.
I mean, I'm sure there is. We just haven't found it.
Yeah, I mean, we do. We have like the Millions Moms movement or whatever that try to get the families, the conservative family organizations. But that you just can't convince people anymore that there's real devil worshiping happening the way that they did back then.
It's such a funny liberal thing too, because Tipper Gore's a liberal. She was her husband was a Democrat. She was liberal, and she wasn't trying to censor anything or anything like that, but her solution to the problem in the end was to make that fucking really cool parental advisory thing.
Yeah.
And it was just like that fucking thing looks cool.
Yes.
Well, like people bought shirts with that thing on it. It probably sold more albums.
Yeah.
Than it
was a help.
That it helped. Yeah, it really boosted albums. So that's funny. But so Friday night, right around 9:00, on all of our streaming services, we will be streaming me, Brett, and it's in the District Sentinel Sam's watching the PMRC hearings, and I think it's gonna be really fun, and I know that they're really funny to watch.
All right. Thanks for listening. We're Street Fight Radio. Find us at streetfightradio.com. Find us on all social medias at StreetFightWCRS. Unless you're looking for us on Twitch, we're at Street Fight Radio over there. You can always email us, streetfightradio@gmail.com. We'll see you on Friday. Peace.
I wish those LSD blotters were... Could you use those?